So I was initially reluctant to watch The Paper because I'm a little bit over the mockumentary style. I just feel like we've reached peak mockumentary. And also because I was such a fan of The Office for so many years, and reboots and spin-offs often make a mockery of the original. But I have to say, I'm only a couple episodes in, but I'm very impressed with The Paper so far. One thing I really like about it is that it takes a little more of a social stance than The Office did. Obviously, The Office was making fun of corporate culture just in general, and then also talked about sort of the decline of the paper industry. It started in the mid-2000s when digital first was really becoming a reality. But I think The Paper, the series, being about local journalism, actually gives it more of a political social commentary angle that The Office didn't have. Just watching Esmeralda, played by the amazing Sabrina Impeggiatore, scrolling through showing the types of articles she writes and how many ads are chopped up into the article, as both a writer myself and also somebody who desperately is always trying to find local news articles, I am just all too familiar with this type of website. The Toledo Truth Teller was in the 70s during this sort of like Watergate, smoky room, everyone's clacking on their typewriters, they're trying to make the print, they're like exposing local corruption. That era contrasted with what it is today, which is you've got like a small amount of media companies, the Associated Press, the New York Times, that they pull articles from, and then the rest is just either local high school sports coverage or just the types of things Esmeralda is writing, which is an investigation into the mole on the face of a Bachelorette contestant. It feels very real, and it also kind of gives the viewer a sort of, I would almost call it false nostalgia for a time when the press really was the fourth estate of democracy. But we do live in an age, as we all know, of clickbait, of attention seeking, of the reality show that has been the last decade. And, back in 2016, I think I was still willing to believe that the news media was the fourth estate of democracy. They were doing their part to hold the president to account, apply checks and balances on the other branches of government. I just don't really feel that way anymore. I think, it has become more of an entertainment source. I hate to say it, but you turn on CNN and you're just watching the Trump reality show. And I believed it then, but I really believe it now. The media and the way it covers things is kind of the reason we're in the political mess we're in. A major reason. They could very easily just cut off a person who just desperately wants attention, but they don't, because they are controlled by financial interests, and not as a public good, which is what the Toledo Truth Teller presents itself to be, and what the main character, Ned, played by Domhnall Gleeson, is trying to support and trying to revive. Anyway, check it out, and if you don't already, support local journalism by subscribing to your local news source.